All right, there you go. Windy, Brian Windhorst, talking about the situation now for the Celtics. So they lose out on Giannis. Good news in my book. But now they've told everybody, including Jaylen Brown, that they're willing to trade him. So one of the 20 best players in the NBA, and the guy who carried the team this year, was a finals MVP a few years ago, not to mention conference finals MVP, puts up high 20s, good defensive player, good all-around player. We'll just leave it at that. Great all-around player, in fact. And, so to me, it's a lose-lose situation for the Boston Celtics because now Jaylen Brown, who said he was committed to Boston, they basically say they're not committed to him.
Well, he said he was committed to Boston after coming out and saying that this was his favorite season ever, which was a failure at the end of it, that he needed to take accountability for, and instead said that this is what I want. I really enjoyed being the number one. Now, I don't know that
Did he say that, though?
Yeah, he did.
He said, I enjoyed being the number one.
I enjoyed being the guy, the lead option, having other people follow me.
But the other part, and somebody else said this, not just me, and I think more than one person, is he enjoyed the fact that everybody was kicking them and telling them that they were going to be, at best, a 500 team. What did Vegas have? 40 wins, whatever?
He didn't enjoy it coming back at him, though, when you have to stand up to it. When you are the guy and it's your team, all of a sudden he was finger pointing and excuse making.
Yeah.
And
well, whatever. I'm just saying, I'm envisioning I'm going to have a lot of extra time in the winter now because I'll not be watching this team. Are there rumors?
Not really. That's the thing.
Where's the bidding war? Who's going to bid for him? Come on.
It seems like this
Let's get it over with.
This
please.
is the media connecting the next dot. They're like, well, the genie's out of the bottle. You've gone beyond the point of no return with him that you can't go back to status quo. So you have to trade him. But I would caution Celtic fans or anyone thinking along those lines, that was okay when Giannis was involved in the deal, because no matter how you felt about trading Jaylen Brown for Giannis Antetokounmpo, Giannis is undoubtedly the better player. So you were still getting back the better player in the deal. You could always hang your hat on that. There's no deal out there that I've seen that is Jaylen Brown leaving the Celtics for something other than Giannis, where you're getting a player better than Jaylen Brown in return.
Players.
It would absolutely have to be multiple things.
It's not a one-on-one. They're going to lose.
The only thing out there that I could be intrigued by, apart from a draft pick, which I don't see happening, because why is a team, I don't know, that's sitting at the top of the draft tonight going to sit Washington? We got the number one, but give us Jaylen Brown. That's going to jumpstart the restart for us. The better asset there is the high draft pick. So that's fantasy of the Celtics winding up with, say, a top 10 or top 5 pick for him.
So the draft's tonight. By the way, Jim Churchill, Mark Paulette here in the Greenway Equipment Studios.
Washington, Utah,
okay,
Memphis.
They're not a player away.
Washington, Utah, Memphis, Chicago is your top 4.
None of those teams are a player away.
Clippers are the 5th. And
Clippers?
Yeah, but why trade that? Like, their books are so screwed up that they would have to send out matching money in order to acquire Jaylen Brown. So it's not Kawhi going out, but it's Darius Garland and other pieces that then lessen what they have.
What does Atlanta have? Because that's been a rumor, and that's his hometown.
They're not giving up Jalen Johnson in a deal, so nothing that I'm intrigued by. You got the former number 1 overall pick from a couple of years ago, Reece Sachet, the French guy, who came the year before Wemby, but he was kind of the number 1 because that was a class that didn't really have any other strong number 1s. The only thing out there that I've been intrigued by turning Jaylen Brown into something else is if you can get him to New Orleans, but not only get Trey Murphy the third back, they also have DeJounte Murray on their squad, who, yes, he's older and he's not quite the same player that you might remember with the Hawks or some other teams given the Celtics fits. But I really like that bully-minded point guard leading an NBA team. The Drew Holiday type. DeJounte Murray is that. And I think if you reshape the Celtics around Tatum, you get Murphy, who is basically Jaylen Brown light. He averaged 22, 5, and 5 last year. He's 6'7". He's still growing into what he can become. You get a good guard out of it, a starting guard to pair next to D. White. Murphy on the wing. Tatum is your 4. Then you can address the bigs a little bit. You still have Pritchard coming off the bench as a secondary scorer. But at the same time, it's still a lot of tinkering when what you have has worked as well as anything else in the NBA with the two J's together.
There you go. That is the bottom line. The drive presented by Next Home Experience, the market leader. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience. So we'll be keeping our eye on the wire here, so to speak, and we'll see if there's any additional deals, including a potential Jaylen Brown deal prior to the draft. And then the draft coming up tonight. First round tonight and round number 2 tomorrow. And the Washington Wizards with the first pick. And looks like they're going to be looking west, right?
Yeah, well, west, but the Brockton, Massachusetts product. In all likelihood, A.J. Debinsa is going to be the first name off the board. I think he's minus 800 last I saw for the live odds updates compared to Darren Peterson, who was somewhere around plus 700. So there was quite a split there where it seems that Washington is going with him. You can't really go wrong at the top of this draft. It is so deep. I say you can't go wrong. Cameron Boozer's name is still like 4th across the board.
Yeah.
He would be like 8th or 9th if I'm just picking my favorite players at the top of this draft. I have to go through. He had a fantastic year at Duke, put up great numbers, but in the NBA, that body doesn't compute because he just out-physicaled college kids. You can't out-physical NBA players.
Right. Those 18 ball fakes or pump fakes that he would do like underneath the basket.
I was just sitting here 10 minutes ago, and I had him 8th on my top of the draft board.
Who you got before him, Mark?
Debinsa, Peterson, Wilson, and really those three, they could all be number one. Like, I don't think you can go wrong. Debinsa is the most polished currently. Had the best like youth career coming along. Had the best college season last year of the three. Should be the best ready-made pro. I say that Darren Peterson might be the best NBA basketball player right now. But with him, I'm a little concerned about the buy-in and the team around him. And like, if I knew Darren Peterson was signing up for 82 games, I draft him first overall. If I know that he is committed to the team and he's ready to go, he might be the most talented. But then I catch myself in saying that because I look at Caleb Wilson and think that might be not an MJ type scenario, but a Jason Tatum scenario where he goes 3rd off the board, but 5 years from now, he's the best player.
All right, we'll see what happens there. Of course, the Celtics have the 27th pick, is it?
Going to be waiting around a little bit.
All right, here's what else we have for you in store. What we have in store for you, excuse me. Coming up in the next segment, we're going to give you some sound from the 2026 Ticket Awards. Happened last night at Hero Sports Grill and Entertainment Center. We had an overflow crowd last night at Heroes.
Standing room only.
It was standing room only. Great energy in the building, and we handed out 35 different awards. Had a great time, and the feedback I've been getting today has been outstanding. Very gratifying after all the work our team put into this Ticket Awards. And, we'll have some sound from the Ticket Awards, and we'll talk about some of the winners from last night. Bottom of the hour, we got a Sports Center, a weather forecast. We'll talk a little more NBA draft. We'll see if anything else has happened at that point. And then later on in this hour, we'll get a sip of the roast, and Mark emphasizes just a sip.
Just one answer, one quick answer,
so
but we pair it with a highlight.
We're just
one quick. Yep.
We'll remember a big event in professional sports, and then it's on to the drive at 5. Tommy Giles will join us at 5:15 from NBC Sports Boston. We'll cover the Boston beat with Tom. And then we've got the drive poll to get out there. What is our subject? It's a ways away, Mark, but
we got a couple. We got one just as like a neutral sport fan. What is your preference? And then we got another. Where do you think Miami is after the Giannis trade?
Yeah, that's a big question because, and I think it's a legitimate question.
Those in the know
who won the trade?
Yeah, those in the know will tell you that Miami didn't really improve their standing in the Eastern Conference.
They just needed a star.
Yeah,
they were willing to do
whatever
they could to get one. So it's going to be interesting. And also the Bam and Giannis dynamic. I'm not sure about
Twin
that.
Towers.
Yeah. Coming up tonight. Oh, we also have Sox props for you.
How are we doing in
Sox props?
Well, we lost yesterday because we thought with
like the Red
Bennett
Sox.
and whatever the Rocky starter's name was, we could scratch out 11 total runs between the two teams, and they were
Of
silent
course,
for
in
much of the night.
Colorado, of all places, only
Yes,
5.
only 5. The Rockies' bats came alive for the final 8 hitters. They literally did not get an out at the plate. They ran into a couple on the base path, and even that wasn't enough to hand it to the Sox.
So, yes, the Red Sox lose last night. Walk-off fashion for the Rockies, who are 17 games under 500.
There is
in the NL West.
No team in baseball has fewer wins than the Red Sox after last night's result.
Wow. Pre-game show tonight is 7:40. Red Sox now 31-45. So the pitcher for the Sox tonight has more than 25% of their wins.
And he is hoping that he'll be out of town soon.
He is, and he is greasing the skids, as they say.
You know what, Henry and FSG, I know I've got that no trade in my contract, but just tear it up. Forget all about it.
That is not needed, and I am having my bags packed because I'm 8-1 with a 3.12 ERA, and I want to go somewhere where they win. I got to bring up an email I got from, I guess, a loyal Red Sox fan. But I mean,
about the state of the team?
Yeah. He didn't want to call in. I guess he was maybe listening yesterday because I think the email was shortly or during the show or shortly after the show. And I didn't respond because, A, I didn't have time yesterday. B, when I found it late last night, just didn't have the energy. And then C, I would have ripped into him. And I don't. So I'm going to rip into him on air for all to hear because, I used to be a glass half full guy. I did. Full. But, you cannot defend what he was defending.
I'm curious of this defense.
Yeah,
because
it's
indefensible.
It's simple. Yeah, there's no defense of this team or the organization or the leadership of there's just no defense. Don't even try. But this gentleman did. So we'll bring that up. I'll read it on air. He didn't want to call and argue. That was how the email kind of started.
You can be a fan of the team. You can be a fan of the logo, of those colorful little characters on the front of the jersey.
You can love the green uniforms, the blue ones, the red ones, the white ones, the gray ones.
But as far as how the team is currently run, indefensible.
No, there's no defense. But he's still holding out hope. Like he says, he's basically saying they're in it.
Well, they only have to win at 103 win clip the rest of the way to potentially get to mid-80s.
And they've shown a lot of signs that they're capable of doing that, right?
Hey, they were ahead 2-0 going into the 9th last night.
And they lost 3-2. I didn't even know. I don't even care. I didn't even know. I got his email. I did, I think when I was in my car after the ticket awards last night, for a brief moment, I did hear the score, 2-0. And it must have been in the 6th, 7th, I don't know, 8th. They were talking about Whitlock, so it must have been around the 7th or 8th that he was coming on. And then I didn't realize the score until about 2 hours ago. And I finally said, I'm going to do a radio show.
Do you know how it ended?
Here in New England.
It legitimately ended.
I should know if the Red Sox won or lost.
It ended with the Rockies getting 8 consecutive hits. When I said that earlier, I was not being facetious or hyperbolic.
He was on the mound. We got to have him doing good.
Whitlock got the first guy of the 8th inning out, and then there was a hit, and then there was another hit. I believe on that second hit, the Red Sox threw a runner out.
When you say that first out of the 8th inning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There were 8 consecutive hits to end the game spread over 2 innings because, again, they're playing a 4A team just like they are, the Boston Red Sox.
So a runner was thrown out somewhere?
The Colorado Rockies, to end the 8th inning, had 4 consecutive hits, but 2 runners were thrown out on the bases. Oh. One was gunned down at the plate, one was thrown out at third.
They should have been defeated. They should have been just battered.
But
unable to come back.
But all of those count as hits in the box score because the outs were recorded at the base. So then you go to the 9th inning, Chapman comes on, single, walk-off triple. The game ended with the Red Sox giving up 8 consecutive hits. They're the first team in the live ball era to do that.
Wow. Well, they're setting a lot of records.
Yeah,
they're making a lot of history.
They're getting creative with how bad you can be.
I've lost track of how many records they have set this year. All right, so we have teed things up for you. We're going to take a break here. We'll come back, and we'll have the sound from the ticket awards. We'll give you all the winners from last night. One of our great sponsors here on The Drive and on Ticket TV and on the Ticket Awards is your local family-owned McDonald's on Main Street and Union Street in Bangor and Wilson Street in Brewer. We're also brought to you by Hero Sports Grill and Entertainment Center. The place to be certainly was last night in downtown Bangor and at herosportsgrill.com. And again, thanks to Quinn, Christina, Andy, the whole Heroes crew for hosting the Ticket Awards for the third straight year last night. Also want to thank our other Diamond sponsors for the Ticket Awards, and that would be Eastern Maine Community College and Next Home Experience. All right, we will take a break right here. We'll come back. We'll talk some 2026 Ticket Awards right after this.
Another very special award. It is the Legacy Award, the Sports Legacy Award. And this year, it goes to a man who basically laid the foundation for what we do, Brian. We do sports. We do sports on Ticket TV. This guy did sports on WABI TV for year after year after year. And he did sports on radio. I remember listening to this guy doing UMaine baseball games from all over the country. The Southwest, the Southeast, the Midwest. He was all over the place with John Winkin, who went everywhere and played about 60-plus games a year. And what I remember about this guy, Friday night, the football picks, listening to him in the morning. Now, I wasn't a huge fan of Doris Day as a teenager, but my father would have it on if he was taking me to school, and I would hear George talking about the world and about the world of sports. Back in the day, I played some sports, and I have this vision of George Hale at the Brewer High School gymnasium. Back then, I'm an old man, back then, you could smoke in the lobby, okay? It was a sea of smoke, and that haze would make its way into the gymnasium. And I have this vision on the lane line, looking up into the crowd. It was packed. And there in the top row, George Hale through the haze, and his teammate at that time, Steve Martin, who went on to be the broadcaster for the Charlotte NBA franchise. And George would do all those high school games, all those UMaine games, baseball, basketball, football on WABI. And it's just a pleasure to be able to announce that George Hale is our Legacy Award winner here tonight.
George, congratulations. You've been getting so much hardware lately. You're going to get deputized sheriff, clean up some of the riffraff downtown Bangor eventually here. How do you feel to be getting all these accolades the last couple of months here?
Well, it's wonderful. It's like going to a funeral and hearing the accolades when you have an opportunity. Sooner or later, I'll miss it. Probably sooner rather than later. No, Brian, it's been wonderful being with kids. It's all about the kids in the school. These young people put their hearts on the line. They have to get their education. I've been fortunate to be associated. You mentioned John, but there are many other coaches that taught me what I think I know about sports. And it's been a pleasure to see you grow up. I remember when you were just running around and your father was chasing you.
George had a elite in-ground pool that he allowed me to swim in as a young man.
I appreciate the honor. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was great to see George Hale at the Ticket Awards last night. He got the Legacy Award, and certainly quite a legacy for that guy. Still going strong. He's lost a step, like all of us, Mark, but George still going strong well into his 90s at this point, and great to have him there last night. And like I said in the lead-in there, I mean, he laid the foundation in this area. I would even say for the state of Maine when it comes to sports, because he was doing sports for the the flagship university here in the state of Maine. He was also honored when UMaine Baseball honored all the College World Series teams I don't know, 6, 7, 8 weeks ago, whenever it was, at Mahaney.
Well, hell, the state gave him a day, right?
Yes.
Like this spring, he got his own day, George Hale Day.
Yeah.
That should tell you that, he was the guy statewide.
But here we are. We're doing radio, sports radio. He was on every morning on WABI, and then, like I said, doing the Friday night picks, high school, college picks. That was always fun to watch, and he was everywhere. He was everywhere, and people were turning to him for entertainment, information, just about every day of the week.
Yeah, just a trusted voice of a kind of a bygone era, but I mean, he was one of those people that just the state knew who to turn to when it came to local sports.
All right, one of our other special awards last night was the Local Sports Hero Award, and that award went to Dennis Kiah, longtime coach, still an assistant coach for Brewer football and Brewer baseball. He's there at the scorer's table working the clock for basketball games at Brewer. Was an AD at Brewer High School. Coached basketball at one time. I think he started his coaching career at Foxcroft Academy. And then, but a longtime AD and just bleeds orange and black. And we honored him last night with the Local Sports Hero Award. And one of the guys who knows him well, because Dennis is still doing, first of all, for the baseball team, he's still pitching batting practice.
Some grounds crew duties.
That's right. He's like one of the grounds crew, basically for Brewer Sports. He'll be working on the turf and different aspects there. He'll work on other fields, Coffin Field certainly, but he's still a very busy guy. And a couple of guys who work with him closely, both on the grounds crew, and Phil Pushard no longer with the Brewer baseball program. His son obviously playing in professional baseball, but it's Phil, it's Dana, it's Dennis, kind of doing all the grounds crew work and setting things up for Dave Utterback. And Phil Pushard, I handed him the mic last night along with Dana Core, but here's Phil Pushard. We apologize for the audio here. It's a little bit off. We had to make an adjustment, but
this was off the cuff too.
Yes,
Phil didn't know it was coming.
He didn't know,
and he got emotional
know.
Within 90 seconds.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
I just threw out those two names and threw a mic in front of him, and here's what Phil Pushard had to say about Dennis Kiah, our Sports Hero Award winner last night.
Coach was my freshman year at Brewer in '77. Was Coach's first year at Brewer. To be able to have the opportunity to be with him in many years has been nothing but an absolute pleasure and a joy. He cares more than anyone that I know of for the city of Brewer, for the athletes in Brewer. You are so lucky if you've been in Brewer to have this gentleman working for the citizens and for the athletics in Brewer. This guy cares more than anybody that I know of. And I wouldn't want to mess with him, but he is certainly not the youngest fellow to come down the street, but there isn't anything he wouldn't do to make anything better, to work hard. We were there this morning working on things from this past weekend. I love the man, the stories, the things that he has taught me. Let me tell you something, they don't make him any better than that fellow right there. I'm just as proud as the day is long to be able to know him and to be able to be with him as many years as we have. I will say, as we've gotten older together, I have the opportunity to joke with him once in a while. He doesn't like that. He likes it better when I was more intimidated by him. But that ship has sailed, so.
All right, that's Phil Pushard talking about Dennis Kiah, the Sports Hero Award winner last night at the 2026 Ticket Awards. We also had two milestone awards last night, two great coaching careers here in the state of Maine and in our area. And one, Russ Bartlett, just about 3 decades of coaching basketball at Hamden Academy, 4 gold basketballs, team almost always in the mix when it comes to competing for at least a regional title. And so Russ Bartlett, former head coach of the Hamden Academy Broncos, one of our milestone winners last night. And here is Russ on coaching at Hamden Academy.
All right, here tonight we've handed out the Sports Hero Award to Dennis Kiah, the Legacy Award to George Hale, and we have 2 milestone awards on the agenda here tonight. And next up is a guy who has had about as much success as you can have as a high school basketball coach over the past couple of decades plus, amassing over 300 wins over the course of his career. Tonight, we are going to celebrate the exploits, the resume of one Russ Bartlett, former head coach of the Hamden Academy Broncos. Russ, come on up.
Talk to us a little bit about what it's like, being at the helm of so many successful teams and to have that sustained level that you guys played with the Broncos during your time there.
Well, I think we were real fortunate. We had a lot of great players over that time and a lot of kids that had great buy-in. Like Coach said a few minutes ago, you have to do that. You have to be selfless, and you got to have a hard-working group. And we were very fortunate to have that year after year. Something I'll miss, and I'm real proud of the guys that have gone on to be real successful as adults, and that's what coaching's all about.
To have those years where the basketball season is long and you go through, but to be at the helm and to have the community support you through thick and thin, what's it like to be the head coach of in Hamden?
I mean, it's fairly pressurized. It's one of those things that it can be a bit of a grind at times, but it's something that you love to do. And I'm not going to miss feeling sick all winter for this first winter in 30 years. So I'm looking forward to that. But it was a good pressure that I enjoyed.
Right, Russ Bartlett, one of the milestone winners last night, award winners at the Ticket Awards. So obviously a great career there for Russ, and another guy with another milestone award last night. Not as long a career as coach for the Bangor Rams, both in football and baseball, but certainly, Mark, you're a former Bangor Ram. Jeff Fahey, Bangor baseball overall, I think it's 14 gold gloves over the years, but quite a string here over the last, decade and a half.
Yeah, from the 5 straight state championships to keeping it going with more regional championships. But it's next thing we're going to hear from Dave Morris. I told him as much after the event last night. He was my favorite coach that I had during my time at Bangor because there's something different about being on Dave's team. Not that every coach doesn't care about you, because of course they do. They wouldn't be there if they didn't, but that was first and foremost with him. It wasn't what you were going to do with the team or your production. He made you feel secure and confident, really, is the biggest thing. His ability to impart confidence on his players, on young men who are, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. That is such a powerful tool that not many have, and he's the best that I've been around at it.
All right, here is Dave Morris, again a milestone award winner last night at the 2026 Ticket Awards on his time working with the youngsters here in the greater Bangor area.
Milestone award winner. This one is going to go to a guy who is hanging it up, at least here in the state of Maine, and he has led his team to championship year after championship year after championship year. This program he has picked up where other coaches have left off, but in many ways he has taken it to a new level, another regional championship this year. Congratulations, our second milestone award winner this year, Dave Morris, head baseball coach for the Bangor Rams. Bangor baseball and what it has meant to you over the course of your career and what your players have meant to you.
Well, obviously Bangor's got a great tradition, and I just kind of stepped in the footprints that were before me. And players win games, and I just have a great group of players, but more importantly, we just have great people at Bangor. So been very fortunate to be able to be there, and I love our players.
One of the things that I don't know a lot of people know about Dave is what he does off the field and what he does for kids, for who's maybe typical classroom life isn't exactly the right fit for them, and what Dave does for kids to help them at a time when they need to go through, I think it's beyond commendable. I just want you to talk a little bit about being there for kids and why it's been so important for you, whether it's on or off the field.
Well, I just think just being surrounded by a group of people that obviously, need a little direction, but at the same time, at Brewer High School, it's just a great school system, great people. We have great kids, and I think every kid just deserves to be valued. And, just showing a little direction, and you have great relationships with them. And so I've been very fortunate to be around the people that I've been around, and so it's been a great run for me. I'm very fortunate.
All right. Again, congratulations to Dave Morris, one of our Milestone Award winners last night. Well deserved for all 4 of our special award winners: the Legacy Award, George Hale; the Sports Hero Award, Dennis Kiah; Milestone Award, Russ Bartlett; and Milestone Award to Dave Morris. I'm just going to run through about half of our winners here, Mark. Right now, we'll come back with the other half in the second hour of the show, I should say. The High School Girls Soccer Player of the Year was Natalie Tardy from Herman. One of the stars for the Hawks. High School Boys Soccer Player of the Year, Josh Pangburn from John Bapst. Outstanding year for Josh for the Crusaders. Addison Elliott was the High School Cross Country Runner of the Year from Hamden Academy. Field Hockey Player of the Year, Abby DeRozier from Brewer, their goalkeeper. And the High School Golfer of the Year, S.J. Welch from Nokomis.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Sounds like he's got quite the career in front of him.
Yep. Came over and thanked us after the event was complete. High School Football Player of the Year, Kyle Johnson from the Bangor Rams. High School Soccer Team of the Year, winning their 3rd straight state championship, the Penobscot Valley Howlers. Quite a run for that group, those seniors.
All they do is win regional championships and some gold with it.
Came up a little short in the softball state championship this year, but just regional championships all over the place, and many, many state championships as well. High School Field Hockey Team of the Year, the Foxcroft Academy Ponies. The High School Football Team of the Year, winning a state title in the 8-man football small divisions, the Stern Skank football team.
Yeah, that was great to see. They had a good showing there last night.
Yes, indeed. High School Wrestling Athlete of the Year, Lily Soper from Bucksport. Talk about a showing. Golden Bucks
they
between
had like a tenth of the town there.
Lily Soper's supporters and the softball team supporters. They filled up a nice big section there at Heroes last night. High School Hockey Player of the Year, Aiden Saran from Hamden Academy. High School Indoor Track Athlete of the Year, Jake Bassey from the Bangor Rams. High School Girls Basketball Player of the Year, Addison Sear from Mattanockhook Academy. She'll be playing at Husson University this upcoming season. High School Boys Basketball Player of the Year, James Witham from MDI. He's got one more year with the Trojans.
Yeah. It's going to be a dangerous
year. That's a guy who has grown a lot. Like, he walked past me last
from
night.
A physical standpoint, yes.
He is taller and wider. And then the Hockey Team of the Year also goes to the Hamden Academy Broncos, winning a regional championship. Good to see many of their players there last night. Swimming and Diving Athlete of the Year, Stephanie Gualtieri from John Bapst. And Volleyball Team of the Year also going to the MDI Trojans. High School Cheerleading Team of the Year, they also had a large support group there last night. I think about 40 of them, the Ellsworth Eagles.
They also had many pounds of bling with them because they had all their state championship rings. Some girls were wearing 4 on 2 fists.
Wow.
Yeah.
High School Basketball Team of the Year going to the Mattanockhook Academy Girls Basketball Team as they went undefeated, winning the state title, their first ever regional championship and state championship. And the School Spirit Award went to the Herman Hawks. And leading into that announcement, we showed some video from Pottle Field.
Oh, yeah.
And again, a lot of schools do a lot of great things, and we enjoy the atmospheres all over the place. And we go to a lot of games, do a ton of games over the course of the entire sports season. But there's something special about Friday nights at Pottle Field. I mean, they do it up.
It truly is one football community in Herman. It's not the high school team. It is the entire Pee-wee. Like, all the Pee-wee players are there. The coaches are there. The middle school players are there to go along with hundreds of fans and fireworks, and it's quite the show.
All right, we'll give you some of the other winners from the ticket awards as we move along into today's show. Right now, we got to take a little time out. Before we do so, I'm going to remind you we're brought to you by Union Street Towing. Stuck on the side of the road, Union Street Towing has you covered 24/7 statewide, from breakdowns to lockouts. They'll get you moving fast. Call 942-4200. That's Union Street Towing, driven to be there when you need them the most. Also brought to you by Bangor Mall Cinemas, Greater Bangor's favorite hometown theater for over 40 years. Bangor Mall Cinemas features luxury recliners and an upgraded food menu. Find showtimes and reserve your seat at yourneighborhoodtheater.com. And we're also brought to you by Casella. Good pay, good people, good life. Find your place at powerofhardwork.com. Coming up next, we'll get you a Sports Center update, a weather update, and we'll talk some NBA draft right after this on The Drive. All right, welcome back to The Drive. Jim Churchill and Mark Paulette here in the Greenway Equipment Studios. Red Sox baseball coming your way tonight here on the Ticket pregame show at 7:40. Sox have 2 more games against the Rockies. The second game of those 2 is going to preempt The Drive tomorrow. Pregame show beginning tomorrow at 2:10. So there'll be no Drive tomorrow. We'll be back on Thursday ahead of Yankees at Red Sox. So how...
What should be just a fantastic 4-day weekend series at Fenway to kick off the official start of summer.
That's right.
Instead is an afterthought.
So if they go 1-1 against the Rockies, which is realistic, the Rockies are not good, despite coming back in the 9th inning last night to defeat the Red Sox, there'll be 14 games under 500 heading into the Yankees series. Now, the Yankees are about 14 games over 500, maybe 15.
They are, but if you listen to any Yankee fan...
They've been losing here in the last few days, I know.
Yeah, like they're talking like the writing is on the wall and this season is going nowhere fast. Obviously, Judge has been hurt for a while. I mean, they're still leading the AL East because Tampa Bay is also reeling after their hot start to the year. Yankees are 15 games over 500, but only 5-5 in their last 10 at 46-31. They've dropped 4 out of their last 5 coming into this weekend playing Detroit currently.
All right, so I mentioned at the beginning of the show that I had received this email from a regular emailer and sometime caller to The Drive. That would be Dave in Levant, okay? And a while back, and again, I like Dave. We have a good rapport, I guess you could say. And he said a nice thing about me in here at the end, which is always...
There you go.
But I'm still going to call him out, despite the nice thing he said. So, Jim, I'm not going to call and argue with 3 people. I guess that would be...
Me, Aaron, and Ernie.
Right. Or...
Well, depending on the day
I think he's
listening.
including me, right. I mean, so maybe I'm not going to call and argue with 4 people. But you guys are going to look silly if the Red Sox make the 3rd wild card.
Yeah, we will. We'll also look real silly when hell freezes over.
And we will be in plenty of company if we're looking silly. We know that Roman Anthony is worth a run a game. Now, that's not, I guess you could say, okay, are you saying if he's scores a run, drives in a run, he's worth a run a game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Produces one somehow. That gets him up to 3.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't doing that before he got injured. The Red Sox are number 6 in the major leagues in payroll.
Yeah, but when you dig into the numbers, a lot of that money is deferred or not on the roster anymore.
Right. So it's funky money. So I don't understand this notion they're not spending. Now, they are spending money, okay, not necessarily on their roster, as Mark just mentioned, and in some cases they are spending a decent amount of money on players on their roster, but they are in the top 20% in payroll. Well, they're the Boston Red Sox, for goodness sakes.
They should be. They print their own money.
I mean, come on. But they need to be, if they're going to be with the Dodgers, with the Yankees, the Braves, legitimate contenders.
Phillies, team that spend and win.
Right. Cubs. Then I guess the Brewers would kind of be the aberration out of that group because they're winning. And you got to give credit to their manager, Pat Murphy, and their front office, which I couldn't tell you who their baseball ops guy is. But the numbers don't lie. So they're in the top 20% in payroll. But they used to be in the top 5%.
Yeah, it used to be them and the Yankees.
That's right. So they're slipping. They're not spending as much. And when they are spending, they're spending a healthy amount of money, but they're not
just incorrectly
doing it right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have, I've never been one to say like, go crazy on a 30-year-old and give him a 7-year contract. I'm not really in on that. I think this all turned when the Red Sox won the World Series in 2018. But then they were stuck with David Price.
They were stuck with David Price that won 83 games the next year, missed the playoffs. And
then they were kind of stuck with Chris Sale. Now, Chris Sale has rebounded, certainly, but
yeah, they're still getting
burned. They gave him a contract, and then his elbow blew out.
They're getting burned for deals from the past that didn't work out in their favor, and they are, for whatever reason, too hesitant to sign people to the same contracts moving forward out of that same fear. And it's just, that's not how you can win. You got to get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. And then he says, I hope Dave's listening. And if you are, Dave, if you want to call in. I also don't think we can hold Craig Breslow responsible for the fact that 5 guys on the team are injured. So Roman Anthony, Crochet, but I mean,
I'm going to hold him responsible for the construction of the rest of the roster, which is pretty crappy.
The Yankees last year, they lost Garrett Cole. I mean, he's definitely a step up from Crochet, only because he's done it longer. I mean, Crochet is, like I've said before, it's like a year and a half of being a stud starter. That's it.
Cole's a Cy Young winner, right?
Yeah. But with the case with Roman Anthony, I don't care. He's 21 years old. He shouldn't be, at this stage of his career, he shouldn't have to be one of the top 5 most important players on the team. Maybe,
or at least being,
eighth,
or at least having the team prop him up as much publicly and outwardly.
Well, yeah, but then they built the whole thing's built around him putting up an MVP type season.
It's one thing if he strolls onto the scene and all of a sudden is doing much better than you expect. It's an entirely different one when you say our hopes ride on this guy's shoulder. Right. They rest on him.
Who's the third injured player he's talking about?
Currently, I hope it's not Trevor Story.
Oh, jeez. Oh, come on, Dave. Are you kidding me? Trevor Story? Oh, my goodness. On this team.
Yeah, it is.
I guess on this team, his shortstop had a good year last year. I guess he's top 5 most important. But, geez, if you're gonna bank on Trevor Story, good luck with that.
Well, you're going to get the kind of year that they're having.
Yeah, indeed. Then he says, I enjoyed your UMaine baseball broadcast. Love, Dave. No, he didn't say love. But anyway. So, yeah, God bless him. But, Dave, I'm a little concerned there that you're drinking a little too much Kool-Aid.
Yeah. He must be mixing it up himself.
They're 14 games under 500. I don't care how close. Third wild card, they're what? 6, 7 games out?
With the entire league in between them and it.
Right. That's the other thing. It's not just, you're chasing one team. You've got a group of teams that are in the middle. You're 14 games under. Mark said this earlier. You have, along with the Rockies, anybody else with 31?
Yeah, there are a couple others. The Giants have 31.
Okay. And they're basically tanking.
That's it. Just those 3.
So 3 teams with the lowest number of wins in the entire major leagues. It is the Rockies, who are perennial bottom feeders. The Giants, great organization, but they're tanking. And the Red Sox.
The Red Sox are second to last in the American League wildcard standings right now. Only the Angels are below them. That means the Boston Red Sox are the second worst team in the American League at present. And they are 7 games out of the third wild card currently on June 23rd. They are 7 games out of the third wild card before we have played half of the season's games. We're not at the midway poll yet. They are still in the 70s for their game total. So you double that up. They're on pace to finish 15 games out of the third wild card. And again, that third wild card team averages about 87, 88 wins. Right. So they're on pace to win about 70 to 72. It's not looking good this year.
No. Well, high draft pick next year. All right. There's always a silver lining, Mark.
That's panned out for him.
There you go. All right. What time do we have? Wow. What are we going to do, Mark? Because we are near the end of the...
At this point, I think we're going to go combo break to the drive at 5 and we'll find our way from there.
Take it from there. All right. Thanks for the email, Dave.